tonight on Focal Point.
What we're trying to do is, as we go through different communities, as we come to Glasgow, as we go to London or Paris, we want to invite, and we do invite, those organizations that are working in their community, in their region, on issues that are applicable to that part of the world.
It is fundamental to a functioning and free democracy and society that citizens continually engage. These rights we have, they're hard fought for over a very, very long time, and they can easily be eroded if people don't stay vigilant and stay vocal.
The two starkest statistics in men's health are, one, that we die at least 5 or 6 years younger than women do, and that we take ourselves, that unfortunately we complete suicide about 4 times as often as women do.
Tá an seo chun lúna eil agus scetebog géalaigh go leor le daoine agus feil cardú nua a bhfuil ag leor géalaigh agus dé seo gin seo chun daoine nua a buaigh le agus géalaigh go leor seo sin peanut.
I was born in Woodstock in 1969 and to some hippies. I've been an organic farmer for most of my life and an advocate of sustainable technology, renewable energy, across the spectrum of issues that affect us, like global warming, species biodiversity, ocean conservation, you name it. The issues that we represent here in the village are very dear to my heart, and I've been working in this field for a long time. Because of that work that I've done, Neil asked me if I would be willing to organize not-for-profit organizations that were doing important work. And Neil's really interested in a range of activist topics. For example, the ban GMO topic, bringing awareness to what genetically modified crops, plants, foods, bringing awareness to people about what these the chemicals they use, the dangers of genetic modification. It's a scientific process. It's not the same as breeding plants and it's splicing genes. It's not your classic natural farming technique. So Neil wants people to know about that. He started Farm Aid with Willie Nelson and John Mellencamp many years ago, and they've been supporting family farmers. And this is a big deal because genetically modified food is really an agribusiness. It's a big corporate, that's who's profiting, is large corporations that invest in agribusiness. So that's really near and dear to his heart. So naturally, a part of the village is focused on organic farming and sustainable agriculture. But that, the topics don't just end there. They're all connected. What we're doing to the oceans, what we're doing to the land.
One of the main issues with GMOs is the amount of pesticides that are used on them. Because the existing GMOs are engineered to withstand repeated sprayings of pesticides, farmers are using more and more of them. And the more pesticides they use, the more resistant weeds come up. And so the more the weeds are resistant, the more pesticides they use. Now that's a problem because a lot of these foods that they're growing, for instance maize, go into almost everything that we eat, and there are high residues of pesticides like glyphosate, particularly in our processed food at the moment.
The planet has gone through major extinctions, usually which take out about 90% or more of all species. The one we're in right now, I think they're calling it the Anthropocene, or it's the man-induced extinction cycle. So we have lost unbelievable numbers of species since the Industrial Revolution. So logging practices, overfishing, pollution, we're just seeing massive die-off. That's a problem, We're a species, we rely on other species for our food. So Neil wants to bring awareness to the species loss. There's also issues of the dangers of fossil fuel, the need for solar energy, for wind, renewable sources of fuel, so that we don't just overheat the planet and deplete the natural resources.
We were asked to come to the global village through the
Neil Young's tour, just to showcase what we're doing with the Land Workers Alliance, which is a group of people that have small and medium farmers that have got together so their voice can be heard together. When government or big business trying to change policy, they can't stop and ask one family farm or a group of family farmers what they think, but together we have a much louder voice. So the Land Workers Alliance here and in the United Kingdom, and Via Campencia in Spain and mainland Europe, they're a group of farmers that have all got together so our voice can be heard louder. What people don't know is that 70% of the world's food is still produced by people like myself. We are feeding the world. Big business won't let you believe that, but that is the truth. So we have to get behind and listen to the people that have been working the land for forever, not just in the last 50 years. So
one of the things we try and focus on is regional activist organizations, grassroots groups. I mean, there's a lot of national organizations. People know about Greenpeace, they know about Amnesty International. There are a lot of organizations doing really important work, World Wildlife Federation, but those people, they have the ear of the world. People know about them. What we're trying to do is, as we go through different communities, as we come to Glasgow, as we go to London or Paris, we want to invite, and we do invite, those organizations that are working in their community, in their region, on issues that are applicable to that part of the world. And so that's been really fun and interesting to meet all these new groups, rather than just come along with the table and the famous organization. And, we try and keep it as vital and people who are really passionate about what's happening in their community. So regional focus has been a major theme in the Global Village.
It is fundamental to a functioning and free democracy and society that citizens continually engage. These rights we have, they're hard fought for over a very, very long time, and they can easily be eroded if people don't stay vigilant and stay vocal and organised when they assert them. Can't really think of one government in the world that wouldn't like to do things by bypassing the rule of law and citizens' rights. So the foundation of democracy is citizen engagement and citizen activism.
Music is such a powerful platform for activism and social engagement, and it has been since, I don't know how long, but certainly since the 60s, when protest songs and revolution was in the air. Neil at that time was doing what he's doing now, For Dead in Ohio, singing about oil drilling. He's carrying the message that he began with as a young musician. And when I think about protest songs and activist music, it's strange. A lot of them are poetic, a lot of them are metaphoric. This album, The Monsanto Years, is probably the most point-blank activist album maybe ever. And I know that sounds dramatic, but when you think about Bob Dylan, The Answer's Blowing in the Wind, and when you think about, Hey Children, What's That Sound? Everybody Look What's Going Down. These are poems, essentially. Neil is calling out corporations by name. He's discussing problems by their actual issue parameters. I don't think it's been done, certainly not by an artist of his stature. And so it's a really special moment in musical history where Neil is speaking truth to power. He's calling out corporate logo names, Starbucks, Monsanto, you name it. I mean, he's really taking it head on. I have huge respect for that.
I think Neil Young has always gone his own way. I'm thinking back to songs like Ohio, which is largely regarded as one of the greatest protest songs of all times. It's blunt and it gets its point across. And Neil is a man of a lot of opinions. And why shouldn't he write about that? There's only so many times you can say, oh baby, I love you. Why not write about something that is really close to your heart? And of course, as a founder of Farm Aid in the US, GMOs, farming, a sustainable future, these are all things that are really in his blood. I don't know that Neil's music has changed. I think what's changing is society, and we're seeing it all around us now in the way that people are looking for politicians that aren't politicians and musicians that aren't just there to sort of sell something, but which actually have something to say that comes from within them. People are looking for something different, and that hunger is getting greater all the time, and I think that's why he continues to have the longevity that he has, because he goes his own way and people appreciate that.
I think it's great that he actually takes time to put things in place where he listens to the people that might know more about things than him. So he doesn't know what the land in West Clare is like to grow on, so he asks the people that are working the land in West Clare to come and have a voice here at the Global Village in Belfast. So I think it's maybe understanding that people know more than him in different areas. I mean,
why is Neil Young's approach of the Global Village so unique?
Because he is not doing it in an aggrandizing or self-interested way. He is generously offering a space for civil society to express itself at his concerts, and to sort of double down on the message he's giving by providing their take on things, and allowing for a plurality of voices within the environmental and social justice movement, which I think is beautiful.
Well, if you go online and search Neil Young Europe Tour, Earth is the name of the newest album. So Monsanto Years is what the tour is built upon, but his latest album, Earth, is kind of like the best of the tours that he's been on. A lot of the songs are from the Monsanto Years album, but if people want to learn more about the kind of activism that the village represents, they can go to goearth.org, which is Neil's website, that basically is an online version of what this is.